the PCS Array Radio Network and the Blue Hedgehog TV. We now interrupt your regular scheduled programming for the following sports special. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the International Motorsports Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast, retransmission, or other disseminations or the use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the International Motorsports Association is prohibited. On the PCS Array Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to the IMSA Podcast presented by Toyota. Here's the voice of the PCS Array, Daniel Voiles.
We're back! Yeah, it feels like forever, but welcome everybody to the IMSA Podcast, as we are so excited to have you all with us for this special, amazing show, as we are really excited to get this party started. It's really going to be fun, it's really going to be exciting, and everything else is going to be great. So, anyway, while I am at it, so that way I can go over the stuff before you start. Easier for myself, so yes sirree. We've got a lot of news to talk about. Check to make sure if was there any mistake on those three things. Let me check. Don't think there was. Alright. No, there wasn't. Okay, first things first. I need to do this, because I forgot to do this last night, so there. Yeah, everything looks good. Okay. So, while we're waiting for our panelists to get in here. Oh, we got one. I'll go ahead and let me go ahead, let me save this real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and add the three new projects. Okay, I need to add you, and you. Let me do this real quick. IMSA Schedules. That's what I'm going to name it. Schedule. That's okay. Alright. And I'll go ahead and save that so we can get back to the IMSA Podcast. Okay, wrong one. But welcome, everybody. Glad to have you guys back on the show. Before we get to some of that... Whoops, I didn't want that. Thank you very much. Real quickly, as we get to announcements... tomorrow I'm going to be doing a special show. I'm going to probably do a special race. I don't know what that race will be. Probably the cup race at Chicago. I'll probably do Chicago because I haven't done Chicago for the Cup Series, but I might reschedule to tomorrow because of the rain that's coming in my area. So that is probably a better be safe than sorry, if you know what I mean. So, other news, I don't have any other announcements other than that. I do, however, want to say that please remember to follow the rules in the description. Just to let everybody know, I'm not going to follow the rules on YouTube as far as whether it's made for kids and whether it's not made for kids. hang on a second. So anyway, other than that, with that being said, I think that's all the announcements. As far as that's concerned, so let's bring our only panelist for right now, as I'm still trying to figure out this whole Discord new update or anything like that. Joining me is Mr. Nathan Orman. How are you, Mr. Orman? Was that a good or was that a what? Okay. I thought Ormy for a second. I thought you said something bad, but okay. Okay. He was having one of those moments. See, and this is also the first episode since we recapped Daytona, and we were going to look ahead, but you all know how that went down. Yeah, it has been about... Wait, what? Yeah, last time we did a podcast was Daytona. We have not done an IMSA podcast until now. So let's get you caught up on some stuff. If you've been sleeping under a rock, if you've been living under a rock, or if you've been dreaming about some weird Gangnam style, whatever the hell that's going on, let's get you caught up on what's been happening in IMSA since we were last with you at Daytona. As I'm on the wrong schedule. Whoops. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep, since we were last with you. Wait a second, where's my... Oh, there's the deal. I was like, wait, Barnes & Noble, I hope I didn't delete that. But anyway, so, let's tell you what has happened as far as that's concerned. We were supposed to have the 12 Hours of Sebring back on March 18th, postponed. Long Beach, canceled. Mid-Ohio, postponed. Detroit, canceled. Watkins Glen, which was supposed to be June 25th through the 28th, postponed. More on that later. Now, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park was supposed to have been July 3rd to the 5th. That has been postponed. I have not heard if it's going to be made up or not made up. I have not heard. I'm going to check on their... Wait, did they cancel it? Wait. I haven't even heard from Twitter. Give me a second. Barnes & Noble, that was not what I want. Is there a source to that? Because I can't find any source. I'm looking for a source and I've heard nothing. Let me look. I'm looking through and for some reason I can't find CTMP. Oh, there it is. I found it. Duh, I'm stupid. Okay, yep, I just got it. It is confirmed now. Alright, so that means the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park event has now been canceled and will not be made up, so... Yep, so that means they're going to... And they've already rescheduled it for 2021, but we don't know a time or a date, so... Which also, here's the other part. They've also canceled the Victoria event that was supposed to take place this weekend, if you didn't know. So, yep, so there's that news as far as that's concerned. So, yeah, I feel bad for everybody as far as that's concerned. Let's get right into, but we have got the newest schedule instead, as I'm going to go ahead and show you. If you're watching the stream, I'll show you the rescheduled events. And there you go. Okay, wait a minute. That doesn't look pleasant. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So, sorry if it looks like that. Just bear with me. I'll try to make it a little neater. Okay. What you're looking at on your screen, of course, we've already done the Rolex 24 at Daytona, so you don't have to worry about that. So here are the race... Wait, what'd you say? Oh, okay. I thought you interrupted me and needed to say something. I was like, wait, what'd you say? Okay. Anyway, what you're looking at, if you're watching the stream, is you're looking at the revised schedule, not just for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Now, yeah, the Pilot Challenge, which I'll show you their schedule in a bit. If it's a little wonky, I'm sorry. You'll just have to deal with it. Or I'll have to put a separate one so I can just show you the deal. So anyway, you're looking at the revised schedule. In replacing CTMP, the teams will go back to Daytona, but it's only going to be Daytona Prototype International, GT Le Mans, and GT Daytona. LMP2 will be back for the next two races, which are Sebring, which is the first of two races, since it's going to replace Detroit and probably also replace help me out, Orman. Replace Long Beach and Detroit. Thank you. Then, of course, we have the regular scheduled race weekend at Road America, the track I was at this time last year. I was on my way to Road America. VIR, which is Virginia International Raceway. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for September 4th through 6th. By the way, I forgot to mention, the VIR is going to be only GT cars, no prototypes, so that's going to be exciting. Yeah, no prototypes. Ignore if it has a little red deal, it's just separating the classes. Of course, the prototypes will be back at Laguna Seca. Now, the race that was supposed to be in May, Mid-Ohio, you look on your screen, has been rescheduled from September 25th to the 27th. I have not heard if the Xfinity race has been rescheduled or not regarding about Mid-Ohio, since we now know IMSA has rescheduled it. The 6 Hours of the Glen that was supposed to be in June has been rescheduled for October 2nd to 4th. Here comes the other issue that's going to be. It also clashes with the 8 hours of Indianapolis, if you didn't know that. Road America was, or not Road America, Road Atlanta, that was supposed to be the season finale. Not going to be the case. Good job, Voiles, on knocking your phone over, you twat. I knocked my phone over like a twat. Yeah, I deserve that, because why not? I apologize if the chat is not working. Excuse my French. Let me read the chat. Hi, Sean. Hi, Elijah. Hi, Greg. 24-hour race. Well, the 24 Hours of Le Mans Spa are also later this year, so they were supposed to be... I mean, next month we were supposed to look ahead. We were supposed to talk about the 24 Hours of Le Mans, but that plan went down the drain. Now, Road Atlanta was supposed to be the finale, since, by the way, we're going to be coming up to the 1-year anniversary of our first ever reaction on my channel. Instead of Road Atlanta being the finale, look what it gets put. Now, if I say a other holiday deal, just forgive me. The end of October, Lime Rock. What was it originally scheduled, you ask? As I look at the deal, Lime Rock was supposed to be in July, which was Sebring. So they moved it to Lime Rock, and then I believe it's the weekend after. Is it the weekend of championship weekend, or is it after? No, let me check. Weekend after the NASCAR season ends, we ended off with the 12 Hours of Sebring. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's a look at this deal. By the way, the thing highlighted in blue with those events, which is Michelin deal and all that, yada, yada, yada. So, okay, okay, so, give me a second here. No, that's not what I want. That was not what I want, you stupid... Ah! You Planet Cushions of Cody Goforth. Give me a sec, guys. Barnes and Noble, you did not have to do that, you stupid... Pfft. Give me a second. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's do it properly. GG me. I'll just say IMSA Schedule 1, IMSA Schedule 2, IMSA Schedule 3. Okay, okay. There. Just to give us a freaking headache. What else is new? Okay, let me make sure. Okay. Here's IMSA Schedule 2. I'll show you IMSA Schedule 2, which is the Continental Tire deal. Schedule 2. Okay. So here's the pilot challenge. Now that we're in sync and not screwing up over things. If you know what I mean. That should be a quote, if you know what I mean. Let me see. Well, as soon as I said that, it's in Elijah's quote. Oh, no. I bet Elijah's probably dying laughing about this. So anyway. Point on Boyles again. Oh, man. Anyway. Let's regain our composure. Alright. So here's the pilot challenge, of course. Their next race is not until 3 days after my birthday, the 17th, which I believe is on a Friday. Is that on a Friday, Orman? Let me think. 14th Tuesday, 15th Wednesday, 3rd. Yeah, it is on a Friday. So, depending if I don't have to work for any of these, I will do reactions. Road America, that will depend on if I have to do reactions or not. Same with VIR. So, the only races I think we did reaction was the first Daytona race, but again, I could do reactions again just because to get you guys caught up on it. Plus, I might do other reactions, if you know what I mean. So, VIR, so it's kind of the same as this schedule. The only difference is when you look at the schedule, when you look at both schedules, when you look at this schedule, I think they're identical if I'm correct. Let me check. I want to check. I think they're identical. Yeah, they're kind of identical, so. Because I know that's always a Friday, so. Alright, and finally the prototype challenge, which, by the way, if you don't know, it's on the IMSA YouTube channel, which I can put the link in the description, so. Alright, IMSA Schedule 3. Because there's like 3 different types of classes. So, this one is kind of a shorter one. Yes. But anyway, Sebring, of course, for the prototype challenge. They go to Road America, VIR, Mid-Ohio, and Michelin. So they're still going to end at Road Atlanta, the prototype challenge. It's just the pilot challenge and all that is different. So, what's your thoughts on the schedules, Mr. Orman? Getting back to this. Yeah, tell me about it. If you tell me about it. 24-hour schedule racing. So, there has been some races that ended up getting quote unquote let's talk about this. Corvette Racing has withdrawn from the 24 Hours of Le Mans because of, well, Europe's still having this coronavirus, or COVID-19, if you know what I mean. So, one of two manufacturers that had to withdraw from the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The other was Porsche. So, Yeah, Porsche also withdrew from as far as that's concerned. Oh, I need to put a breaking news off topic here on the IMSA podcast. Remember what I talked about as far as CTMP? Toronto just got canceled and will not be made up. So I'm going to put that in the IndyCar deal. You may now press the letter F, Orman. For IndyCar, which we'll talk about that on the weekly show Monday. Yep. Here's also the insulting part. You know what the insulting part is? That's the same weekend for the Pinty series. Now that has been canceled. So yeah, we'll talk about that on the weekly show on Monday, which, by the way, we're only going to make predictions for Xfinity because as much as I want to look at the Atlanta entry list, I'm not 100% confident about the entry list because I've read there's only 39 cars for Xfinity, and we'll talk about that on the weekly show. But getting back on topic, yeah. I'm gonna put this in Stapleton server. Alright. I will just put that there. Isn't that sad? And we'll talk about that on the weekly show, if you know what I mean. Okay. We'll also talk about supercars on the weekly show. So. But, yeah. So, my thoughts on the schedules, it's going to be really interesting to point out. I will also want to point out, times have yet to be determined for all of those races, since, like I said, the only race the IMSA teams have completed is Daytona. Now they're going back for the second Daytona event, and the last time they ran Daytona on the 4th of July was 2009, when Kyle Busch ran that race with Marcus Ambrose. So, it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out during the course of the event. Oh, I need to ping Taylor. So that way he can get his thoughts on it. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, I feel very disappointed for the people in Canada. I know they were looking forward to races. Off-topic voice, but anyway, feel very disappointed for the people in Canada. I know they were really looking forward to CTMP, which, let's face it, was pretty good racing, if you know what I mean. So, but unfortunately, it's not going to be the case, if you know what I mean. But hopefully, next year, as long with this COVID hopefully gone by then, we can finally have some good racing for that. So. But there's always iRacing, so there's always iRacing. Let's agree. Wait, what'd you say, Orman? No, I'm talking about the IMSA Podcast, you derp. Nice derp, Taylor. I mean, join us on the... Do I need to smack Cody? Oh! By the way, Cody, off topic, don't look at the chat, because Cody roasted you. So, but either way, it's it's going to be interesting to see how that will play out so far. Wait, what'd you say, Orman? Oh, I want to mention, looking at the IMSA schedule. Give me a second here. July 4th. What I was told by IMSA people is that both events weekends will be without fans. So we don't know when we will. They said further NBC Sports Television broadcast information will be announced soon. So we don't know a time or the time those events will happen. So we will just keep you updated, as I said, and I'll let you guys know on that. So, the race will be on NBCSN, which, if I am correct, that's on the same day as actually the IndyCar NASCAR race weekend at Indianapolis. So that's going to be interesting to see how that will play out. So, yeah. That also means some other drivers will well, I don't think any other NASCAR driver is going to be there. I think they'll be at the I know probably the Cup drivers will probably all be at Road Atlanta, probably racing the 10-hour race, because it's after the season. I know there's going to be 4 drivers in the Truck Series that will also be running at Road Atlanta, also Sebring, so that could be interesting. Since after all, I've seen, Johnny Sauter, Stuart Freeze, and all the ThorSport teammates run in Continental Tire when there hasn't been any racing, and probably some Xfinity drivers. So it could be interesting. So, yep, looking forward to that. Until we get some time on those events, I will pass it along to you as soon as. You probably don't want to roast me, Sean, because why not? Because I don't want to smack you, and I'm not going to smack anybody else in that chat, because that's illegal. But anywho, should be interesting to see how that will play out for those IMSA teams. Your final thoughts, Orman?
IMSA's back. Great to have it back. This is going to be an interesting season for IMSA now that we're coming back, and probably going to have great racing.
Yeah, it could be some good, interesting racing, because, I mean, to tell you the truth, it could bring out the best in these drivers, how this could affect the championship, because the winner, it's like 35 points for a win, plus you have to meet the minimum of 30 to 45 minutes of drive time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I will say, if for any reason I miss any broadcasts, I will do reactions, but we will have it on YouTube, where I will probably, I don't know if I could get copyrighted or not, but I probably may not, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so we might do that, or I might just put the IMSA logo, the IMSA Podcast logo, to cover it like I did at Road Atlanta for the Continental Tire deal. But we're also going to probably react to qualifying for the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. Nice derp, Sean. Look at the chat. He said, you and I are sleeping in the same bed. Don't you mean same bed, not same bad? So, alright, well, that's going to conclude it. Can't wait to... The next time we'll be back with you will be when we recap Daytona again, Daytona 2, but it should be fun. We will see you then, Orman. That funny that Sean Arndt. So, yep, so glad to be back. This will conclude our third episode of the IMSA Podcast. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I know it's been a difficult time. Thank Orman, thank all of our producers and everybody. And our very own Seth Summer, who is running the great show back in our Learfield IMG College Network studios. One more piece of business to pass along to you guys is that we will be back at our regular 3 o'clock Eastern time, if you know what I mean. So, should be an interesting to see how that will play out, and should be a lot of fun. So, until after the Independence Day weekend from Daytona, and until July, my friends, this is Daniel Voles, aka PCS Ray Blue Hedgehog 26, saying, Boomer Sooner, everybody. See you then.
This IMSA podcast has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Harkins Theaters, and by Chevrolet. Thanks for listening to the IMSA podcast. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2020 by the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the International Motorsports Association, Incorporated.